Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, everyone loves to get gifts, right? We love getting that nice box with everything wrapped in bows, and even if it's whether it's a birthday or Christmas or what have you. Now today we're going to be looking at the Emperor's Gift. This is a expansion to a very popular game called Lanterns, one that I love so much. So we're going to check out what this new expansion is, but we're going to be doing a rule school. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to set up the game and how to play it so that you don't even have to read the rule book. So first I'll give you a 1-minute overview of what's in there, and then we'll get to all the descriptions, and we'll see you later. Lanterns, the Emperor's Gifts is an expansion for Lanterns where it's going to be all about these pavilions. When you match pavilions, you'll be able to take these gift tokens. You'll also be able to create matches and drop some of your own pavilion tokens on there and be able to get gift tokens from that. In future turns, if another player matches that tile with your pavilion on it, you will both get gift tokens. And sometimes players might be able to match to be able to get both gift tokens and favor tokens like the base game with the platforms. And you'll be able to use those gift tokens to activate certain cards on your turn to do different things, like turning favor tokens into points, or turning favor tokens and lanterns into some wild cards, or turning in different unique sets for a new way to score, or getting a second dedication, or even rotating some tiles, but only 2 of these 5 are used each game. Now there are some changes to the setup with the expansion. If you remember, you used to set up using this boat tile. You will no longer use this tile. And just to note, older editions had this as a blue tile, and new editions had it as a gray tile. Well, we're now going to replace that with a tile that's included in the expansion that also has a gray back, and it does not have a boat on it. But what you'll do is you will place your yellow pavilion on here. Now, yellow is the color of the Emperor. It's not any player that's actually in the game. This is the Emperor's color, and so the Emperor's pavilion goes on the start tile. When setting up the dedication tokens, this is the way it looks with the base game. There's now 6 other tokens. There's 2 of the blue tokens, and these ones have a symbol on it. It has a little pavilion at the top to tell you it is from the expansion. And when you're adding these, you use it the same way, which means they go in ascending order from top to bottom, so the highest value is going to be on the top, working your way down, also keeping in effect that if a token has a certain amount of dots, you only use it if there's at least that many players. So this would only be used with 4 players. That would be used with all players. Same with this, we start to work our way up. This one's used with 3 or more players. This one's used with any amount of players. This one's used with basically 4 players, and this one's used with all players. There is a change to the amount of cards that are in each of these stacks, only if you're playing with 3 players from the base game. In the base game, there'd be 7 cards of each color with 3 players. In the expansion, you take 1 of those out, so there's going to be 6 of each of these stacks of colors with 3 players. Each player will also get pavilions at the beginning of the game. If you're playing with 2 players, each one will get 3 of either blue or red. If you're playing with more than 3 players, each player will take 2 of the color of their choice. You will make a pile of these new gift tokens so that everybody can reach them. Now there are 5 new mechanisms that are introduced to the game through Emperor cards. Now at the beginning of the game, you're going to shuffle these and randomly have 2 of them each game, so each game will feel quite different. We'll go over what these do later. So let's talk about these pavilions. When you place a tile, first of all, when I talk about these pavilions, you're always going to do everything you did in the base game, which means if I was the player sitting on this side, I would get a purple lantern, this player would get a white lantern, this player would get a red lantern, and I would get a blue lantern. That happens in every time you place a tile, just like the base game. I'm only going to go over what's different with the pavilion tiles here. So let's say we match this. Now because we matched with the pavilion, you are going to get one of these gift tokens and place it right in front of you. Now let's say the next player places this tile. When you place a tile, you can place one of your own pavilions on that tile. Let's say this player is the red player, they put their red pavilion here. Again, it matches. You can only place this on the tile that you're laying down that turn. If it matches, you would again get a gift token. Now you cannot place it, if you were just placing this tile, you can't place it here because you can never have a pavilion adjacent to another one. But in this case, diagonal between here and here is okay. Now let's say someone who is not the red player places this. Well, the player who placed this tile is going to get a gift token because they matched this red pavilion. Now anytime your color pavilion gets matched, by yourself or anybody else, you're also going to get a gift token. So this red player, even though it wasn't their turn, is actually going to get a gift token because some other player matched on a tile that had their color pavilion on it. Now let's say another player that's still not the red player places this tile. That player is going to get 2 gift tokens, one for matching the pavilion of the Emperor yellow color, and another one for matching another pavilion of the red color. Now remember, this player is not red, so they got 2 gift tokens. The red player, even though they didn't do anything, because their pavilion was matched, that red player would also get a gift token. And for a final example, let's say we place here, and this player matches here. So they're going to get a gift token like normal, but they are also going to get a favor token like normal because they matched a platform. And so for this turn, they would have gotten this and this. If you're using the Emperor dedication, instead of doing a normal dedication in the base game, you could spend 2 gift tokens that you have, and in addition, turn in lantern cards of one of these 3 types, either 5 unique types of lanterns, or a full house, which is 3 of one type, 2 of another type, or 5 of a kind, so 5 all of the same lantern cards. You can turn in any one of those 3 sets along with 2 of these gift tokens to take the top dedication tile of this stack. Now this is a separate stack that's only used with this card. This stack is set up the same as the other dedication stacks where it's the higher numbers going down all the way to the lower numbers. Also keeping in mind, just like in regular setup, you only use the dotted cards if there's the right amount of players. For example, this would be with all the players, and ones that have less dots than that will only be used with those players or higher. For example, that one would only be used with 3 or more players. If you're using the rotate a tile card, before you place a tile, you can pay 2 gift tokens and you can rotate any tile that has at least 1 open side, meaning it's not completely surrounded by tiles. You can also turn any tile that has either a platform or a pavilion on it. So in this case, this has at least 1 open side. I can turn this tile any way I want, really. Now, this is facing me. I could then add this tile, and that would get me an orange, plus wherever I'm seated, I'll get that card, and I'd also get the favor token normally because this is a platform. Now, when the tile is turned, you don't automatically get any rewards right away. It just sets you up for what you're going to do this turn and then all future turns, of course. With favor to honor, at the beginning of your turn, you can pay 2 gift tokens to then exchange either 1 favor token for a 1 honor, or you can use 2 for a 2 honor. And so this is basically just points at the end of the game. Now, if this card's being used, you spend 2 gift tokens instead of exchanging like normal. And in addition to the 2 gift tokens, you can exchange a favor token and any of your lantern cards to get one of these wild lantern cards that can be used for any color. Or you can choose to turn in 2 of these favor tokens and any lantern card that you have for any 2 unique lantern card colors. And if you have this one, you can turn in 2 of those gift tokens to be able to, at the end of your turn, do a normal dedication for like the normal tiles. Now, you can do this whether or not you did a normal dedication in the normal spot of the base game's turn rules. And at the end of the game, you would just count up your points like normal, but now you have these extra possible honor tokens that you'd add. And if it's a tie, the tiebreaker are the gift tokens. Well, I hope that helped you dive right into this expansion and just add it to your base game without having to read the rule books. Now, if you have any questions that are further on than this, then go ahead and drop them as comments in this video, and we'll do the best we can to answer them.